I tend to write the book and then deal with the title. Sometimes if I'm lucky, it'll come in halfway through, but I tend to write the book and then kind of figure out the title and make sure the title fits. You know, something like The Invitation was a no-brainer because it's got a romance kind of feel to it. It goes with the cover, and it's about somebody showing up at a wedding they weren't really invited to. So, but the Something Borrowed, Something New is interesting because it's one of those things that I just said I would never do Cocky Bastard anymore because Amazon, you know, it's just not as acceptable by the platforms today as it was 10 years ago. But Something Borrowed, Something New is one of the books that I recently sold to a traditional publisher who re-released it, and it's coming out in stores next year. And that book was originally called Sex Not Love, but because it was an arrangement between a guy and a girl that were just going to spend the summer, they were just going to have sex, not love. And so it was called Sex Not Love, and it was a sexy title, obviously, and it had a sexy cover. And when we were redoing it with the illustrated cover, and now we want Target and Walmart and Amazon to put it on the shelf, we had to change the title. I've not caught somebody reading it, but two people talking about the book, and I didn't say a word. I was just at the nail salon and I heard these two people talking about, it was actually another romance author's book at first. And so I just kind of perked up. And I mean, Vi Keeland isn't my real name. And at the time, for the first 5 years of my career, I didn't show my face. I didn't, you know, my name is not legally Vi Keeland, but so nobody would have known it was me. It took me until I left my job. I didn't want to come out of the closet, if you would, until I left my job as an attorney. So they would have had no clue. I didn't have a picture in the back of my book or anything. So I had a picture, but it was a book over my face. And they were just started talking about, they were talking about somebody else's book. And then she's like, "Oh, did you read?" And now I don't even remember what the book was. I believe early next year, The Unraveling will come out in paperback, which I'm excited about because it'll be my first thriller coming out in paperback. It was released in hardcover first. And then I have another thriller coming out, I believe, next September, which doesn't really even have a title yet. It's a very different standalone. It's a little bit more into the thriller. The Unraveling kind of straddled a line between romance and thriller a little bit, even though it was firmly in thriller. There was a romantic element to it. This one still has a little romantic element, but it's going a little bit more to the thriller side. And then I have my first traditionally published romance book coming out next May 6th with Bramble. It's not even, the title isn't even out there yet. So I'm staying in the wedding trope theme, and it's about a bride who gets left at the altar. So the title aptly is Jilted. Jilted is about a bride who gets left at the altar, but her entire personality and her job is in the wedding business, and she's dreamed of her big day forever, and now she's miserable at her job. So she's just become, ever since she's a little girl, she wanted to be a bride, and she can't wait for this big day, and she winds up getting left at the altar, and now she has to every day go cover other people's weddings, and now she's miserable about it. And so she has to kind of get over herself and get over what she went through and find love again.